It's a beautiful morning. Today, Thursday, the 16th day of April 2026. My name is Kunle Olu, and of course, you're listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio, located here in Oluyole, in the heart of Ibadan City. Yes, you're welcome again. It's another interesting edition of Perspective Unlimited this morning. And of course, I will not be doing this alone. I have Sani, who is going to be our analyst on deck today. We'll be talking about different issues on our dailies, as seen this morning. The papers that we are going to be looking at this morning include the Vanguard, the Guardian, and of course, the Daily Sun. And remember, like I always say, we are not bearer of bad news here at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We're just giving you the stories as seen on the front page of our dailies, and our job is to inform, to educate, and also to entertain. And what we just want you to know is exactly what is going on in the country so that we can make informed decisions, especially on how to make our country, Nigeria, better. So we are going to move quickly into the stories making the headlines on the papers this morning. We'll start with the Guardian. The Vanguard, I beg your pardon. We'll start with the Vanguard. And the largest caption on the Vanguard newspaper this morning reads, Amend New Tax Law, PIA Electricity Act Now. The writer story says, definition of small business in Tax Act should align with definitions in the CAMA Act. Identifies need for states' legal frameworks to foster collaborations with DISCOs. And also adds amendments will foster enabling the business environment, power up Nigeria's OGSPAN back to NESG. There's also the story on page 20, Middle East crisis, IMF plans $50 billion lifeline for Nigeria, orders. On page 11, NACC certifies Enugu International Airport. Still on the front page of the Vanguard this morning, AFC raises alarm, says insecurity has reached states of war. That story is on page 8. And on page 40, flood hit Bayelsa, Delta, Adamawa, Kebbi, 29 others. That is according to the federal government. And on page 9, federal government drops terrorism financing charges against ex-AGF Malami and Son. And on page 39, this is credited to Atiku. 2017 is my last attempt. Nigerians should trust me. If you are interested in that story, it is on page 39 of the Vanguard this morning. Going on to other stories, Dangote, Pope, Trump, others name in Times 100 most influential people for 2026. That story is on page 20. And on page 8, Nigeria not at war with itself but enemies. That is according to the information minister. And on page 19, IFAD to boost discussions at 2026 Vanguard Economic Discourse. Those are the top stories as seen on the front page of the Guardian, of the Vanguard this morning. Going now to the front page of The Guardian this morning. Fresh concerns over funding risk as Nigeria's public debt hits 159.28 trillion naira. That story is on page 6 of The Guardian this morning. And yes, that is the largest caption. And then on page 3, African scouts $120 billion for 6 Dangote-sized refineries to edge energy crisis. And on page 4, Dangote, Pope, Trump make Times 100 most influential people. And on page 22 of The Guardian this morning, inflation rises to 15.38% amid global supply chain. And other stories on The Guardian this morning, still on page 3, 2017, CSOs set agenda for candidates, demand SDG aligned manifestos. And on page 3 again, ADC crisis deepens as Kachuku slams NBA over no court stance. And on page 2, Nigeria orders to negotiate $11.7 trillion debt, $229 billion service cost. And on page 4, Kenyamo laments $2.5 billion maintenance cost as United Airlines records 5th bird strike. And on page 6, 2027, Atiku rallies opposition as APC defends process. And those are the stories you can find on the front page of The Guardian this morning. And now moving to the front page of Daily Sun, as seen this morning. The largest caption, insecurity escalating to war situation. That is credited to Arewa Group. That story is on page 6. And the writer, rising terror concerns Afenifere. U.S. lawmakers demand Matawel's removal. That story is on page 6. Still going on the front page of the Daily Sun this morning. Airlines shut down operations April 20 over 300% jet fuel surge. That story is it continues on. Okay, it's on the front page and then continues on page 2. On page 26, 33 states FCT face high flooding. FG1s. Those states include Osun, Enugu, Kogi, Adamawa. 6 other states risk cholera over flood. Other stories still on Daily Sun this morning. On page 7, Governor Mba, transformer and entrepreneur, says French ambassador. My last in presidential contest, that is Atiku speaking, and that story is on page 7. NNPCL must account for 210 trillion naira by April 29. Senate insists. That story is on page 8. And still on page 8, APC chair Yiwatada, I hope I got that right, replies David Mark's claim on Tinubu's running one-man show. That story again is on page 8 of the Daily Sun this morning. So, Sani, let us first of all, good morning. And welcome. We know that we always have these discussions, even in our private corners, and we talk a lot about the happenings in the country. I remember the last time we even engaged, it was talking about the story we have been hearing about the Oyo State governor and the Olubado, but of course that's not what we are talking about this morning. As seen on the Daily Sun, airlines to shut down operations April 20 over 300% jet fuel price surge. And that brings me to think about the fact that we have been having this crisis of surge in price of even fuel, petrol, premium motor spirits that we call petrol that we use. And we understand that it is as a result of removal of subsidy initially by the administration we are in now, and of course also by the last administration. I think this administration announced it, but the last administration had already set it in motion. Okay, well, but I mean that has been in the pipeline, and we know again now with the issues happening in the Middle East, Donald Trump, Israel, and Iran. The price of crude has gone up higher than we expected, which has affected the amounts of crude and then subsequently the amounts we buy petrol fuel and, of course, the jet fuel as seen in this report this morning. And people say that since Nigeria is seeing way more money, especially in crude, why can't they temporarily give subsidy again, at least pending the time these issues in the Middle East will die down and then it can be removed again? Do you think that makes sense?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you, Chief. Let me start by that faulty notion that a lot of people believe that it was the Muhammadu Buhari administration that set the ball rolling as regards removal of subsidy. That is a very big lie. Buhari didn't touch subsidy. He kept paying subsidy. In fact, what most people do not know is that when Buhari was leaving, there was provision for subsidy for the month of June 2023. But guess what? Bola Ahmed Tinubu came on the 29th of May 2023 and he yanked everything off. It was about $1 billion worth of money then. Until this very present day, nobody has been able to tell us where that $1 billion went to. Let's now go into the facts of on the ground. I know too well that things are not rosy for people in the aviation sector. And the reasons are quite complex. Number one is that there is a drop in passengers. A lot of people are struggling to hit today. Not many people can afford to pay 200 plus for just one-way ticket from Lagos to Abuja, and that is the truth of the matter. So they are battling with shortage of passengers. That's number one. Number two is that the cost of operations, OPEX, has jumped beyond what they could imagine. It's not just the price of, what is it called, aviation fuel, or jet A1 as they call it. It's maintenance. These guys are earning in Naira. When they want to maintain these things, they have to fly them to Toulouse in France. If you're using Airbus, if you're using Boeing, you have to take it to the United States of America. They're not going to collect Naira from you there. When you convert your Naira to your dollars or your euro, then you understand that it's peanuts after all. So they are struggling with maintenance. And if you are not servicing your aircraft, it's as good as flying a coffin. That's that. The biggest problem they are facing right now is that the price of fuel has jumped by 300%.
300%.
They cannot increase the price of ticket by 300% because even the 200 plus they are selling it. For the 200 plus they are selling it, they are struggling to get customers. So if you say you want to increase it by 300, you may end up flying empty aircraft.
But are we saying now that the airfares has not been increased up to 300%?
Well, they had been increased. Because of the fact that they were struggling with FX, when you convert Naira to pound, to euro or to dollars, you have to charge people what is commensurate by the time you want to spend your money at the point you want to service. As regards the biggest problem right now, the jump in the price of crude, this happened just less than 2 months ago when Israel and America struck Iran.
Yes.
That was when the price now flew up again. They have not, looking at the cost of tickets today versus what it was on the 28th of April, they haven't really increased. Not that they don't want to increase, but they know too that they cannot just increase. If you can do that when it's festive season, when people may have no choice but to go home. But middle of the year, no activity, no serious political activity, no festive period, no festival on the ground. Should you increase beyond what common sense can say, you are flying an empty aircraft. What I'm trying to say here is this. Let's take the president back to Kenya. He compared us with Kenya, which, in my opinion, is an insult to Nigeria. But that is what he wants to do. Let's now construct our own analysis around what is happening in Kenya. Kenya has done what most countries that are run by credible human beings often like to do, and that is that they have pegged the increase in the price of petroleum products at just 16%, despite the fact that they know that the price has jumped beyond 40%. They have said, not for any reason will it increase beyond 16% for the 30 days between April 15 and May 15. The remaining 24% on top of it, who do you think is going to bear the cost?
The government.
It is the Kenyan government, but they won't tell you that it is subsidy because their masters in Washington, Paris, London, wherever, will say, do not subsidize. Even when they are subsidizing in their own countries, they keep telling you not to subsidize simply because they want to slaughter your economy. But the Kenyan government has come up with a very brilliant idea. Okay, they don't want to hear it. I see no reason why you should pander or cower before people who don't care about you. But even if that is what you want to do, let's find a way to protect our people from this brutal blow. And they said, okay, it has jumped by at least 40%, bear 16%. The remaining 24% is going to be borne by the government. But they won't tell you that that is what we want to do.
But isn't that subsidy low-key?
It is subsidy low-key. It is subsidy without calling it subsidy.
Yeah.
That is what we have been telling our government. Responsible governments all over the country, all over the world, have done things to cushion the effect of this jump and this spike in the price of petroleum products. A lot of countries have removed petroleum tax.
But can we say that?
Let me finish this, sir.
Okay.
France, Australia, China, they have all removed petroleum tax. That this thing is expensive. We shouldn't be taxing it. That is, if we do not want to tax you to death. But guess what? In my home country, you pay 42 taxes on 1 liter of fuel. 1 liter of fuel, be it petrol, whatever. You are paying 42 different taxes. Couple that with what is happening in the area of crude pricing, you will realize that there is no way our roads are not going to be scanty, simply because people cannot just... Now, we live in a country where filling a tank for your normal average Corolla, that Uber Corolla, that boat Corolla, is far more expensive. It is now higher than what people earn on a monthly basis. There is no way such an economy can grow. There is no miracle in the world that can make such an economy to grow.
Yeah, but what we are saying now is that, is it possible that maybe the federal government is not making enough money to be able to low-key, subsidize all of this?
I actually support high-key subsidy, because that is what they are doing in Europe and America. Forget about low-key.
Low-key, high-key.
High-key, full-key, what about that?
With your full chest.
With your full chest. Face it, this is what your people need. Give it to them.
But
the US government is doing it.
Afford it?
The British government is doing it. The French government, the German government. As regards affordability, we can afford it in many multiple folds without having to borrow. That is, if our intention is clear. Nigeria makes way more money than we thought we could be making around this particular point.
From crude?
From the sale of crude. Where is that money? Nobody can say it. There is nothing on the ground to justify where that money is. As if that's not enough, they are even borrowing up and down like they are cursed. It's not about efficiency. It's not about not being able to do it. It's just about not wanting to do it.
The willingness.
The will is not there. It's just about find every way to cut what flows to the people and find a way to maximize what comes into the pocket of the government. The government is not in business to make money. The government is responsible governments are not in government to make money. Rather, they are there to make life better for the people. So if it's about cutting whatever goes to the people and maximizing what comes to the government, then at that particular point in time, you should know that things have totally gone south. Things have totally gone south. And there is absolutely no way the people of such a country can have a headway. It just can't and won't happen. That's it.
But very recently, we are saying now that the government should be able to subsidize. And this is because we are making excess money from the sales of crude. Now, I have
I should tell you something, my dear brother. Kenya doesn't have they don't have a barrel of crude.
Kenya, they don't have, and yet
they are subsidizing 24%. It has increased by at least 40%.
No, I mean like
they are asking the people to pay 16%, while the government carries 24%.
Yeah.
In our own country, we make a ton of money in the name of selling crude every day, and yet our government keeps telling us that there is nothing they can do to help us. It shows to us that the government of Kenya is far more responsible than our own administration. That's just the truth of the matter. The government of Kenya
remember that even very recently,
Kenya, more than the government of Nigeria, they don't even care about us. They don't even care about us at all. It's not about. There is no room for comparison, simply because, in my opinion, they don't care about us.
Very, very recently, the Minister for Finance actually even said that it is painful, but that subsidy will.
He ruled it out. He ruled it out expressly that it is not happening.
Yeah, but do you think that, coming from a serious government, they have told you that we are not bringing back subsidy?
Okay. Despite the fact that we know that
no matter what,
subsidy removal is one of the reasons for.
But would it not be them going back on their words?
Sir, it's never about your words. It's never about your ego. it is always about the well-being and welfare of the people. Sometimes it's A, sometimes it's B, sometimes it's in fact up to Z. It's what will benefit the people that you should do as a government. If it's about, oh, I said this, I cannot afford to go back on it, then it's not that you are running a responsive and reactive government. It's just a locomotive train, never looking back. That is not how to run a system.
But even in the US, they sell. I think they use a gallon system, not liter. And the gallon is about 4 liters.
And
$4. $4.
4 liters.
4 liters. Yeah,
4 liters.
$4. So that means that if we break it down with the current exchange rate,
it's around 1,300.
So that means exactly it's almost what we are. So,
God bless you for what you just said.
Yeah,
there is something that usually affects the price of any commodity, especially if it's something you are doing in the name of manufacturing, even if it's services. The price, what's it called? The amount of money you pay your staff, it takes sometimes 40%, if not more, of your operation cost. The average salary in the US is between $3,000 and $5,000 per month.
Per month, yes. $5,000.
$3,000 to $5,000. Yes, professionals.
Professionals, okay.
Yes.
Maybe for professionals, okay.
Professionals, yes. In my home country, not many professionals go home with $700 if you do the conversion. Not many professionals go home with $1 million in this country. That is it. So you are paying just a fraction of what they are paying. Naturally, the price of whatever they are producing there is going to be much higher than ours, simply because they are incurring more in the name of cost of production than we are doing here. So we should not be talking about the same thing. And what is the minimum wage there? What is it? Let's lock the president. The president of our country to 10 years.
But can the minimum wage in the country
Chief, wait. In Kenya, the minimum wage is between 160,000 to 170,000.
Converted to naira?
Yes.
Okay.
In naira, it is between 160,000 to 170,000 naira. In my home country, it is 70,000 naira.
That's 100,000 naira difference.
Theirs is far higher than ours. And yet, we think we are on the right path. The government is making a lot of money, while the people are wallowing in more and more and more penury. The truth of the matter is that in the US, they make a lot of money. They have a lot of money to spare after spending on whatever they want to spare, on whatever they want to spend on. Okay, a liter is around $1 there. If you want to fill your tank, it's around $70, which is...
Depending on what you are driving.
The average tank is around 70
liters.
That is just $70. For a guy, let's even say for a guy who receives $2,000, which is far below the average salary in the US, $2,000. That is something that you cannot even use to compare. There is no comparison. 70. If you take 70 out of 2,000, you are still very, very okay. But in my own country, it's 1,000 plus. Your entire 70,000 minimum wage cannot even fill your tank. You now get where the problem lies. Our purchasing power is terribly low. That is why companies are folding up. It's not that Nigerians don't want to buy these things that these companies are producing, but there is just no way for you to buy them simply because your government has designed a strategy for you to be extremely broke. You won't even be able to feed yourself, not to talk of having money to buy one or two things around there. And if you are not buying, companies are going to fold up. And when companies fold up, more people are going to jump into the labor market, worsening a terrible situation already. Do you not get why Nigeria is why Nigeria is rich and why Nigerians are poor? Nigeria is a very rich country at this particular point in time. But sadly, because of corruption and mismanagement,
responsive government,
we are poor as Nigerians, while our country is extremely rich.
God help us all. You're still on to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio situated here in the heart of Olawole, here in IBCT. My name is Kunle Olowu, and I'm here with my analyst today, Olalekan Sani. And together we'll be doing justice to the stories making rounds on the front pages of our dailies this morning. We are going to go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to open up the phone lines for people at home to also give us their 2 cents on the matters we are discussing. And of course, we still have loads of stories or loads of issues to trash here. There is that of Atiku Abubakar saying that he is not going to run again after this coming election. I think that is a very interesting one we might want to look at. But after the break, stay tuned.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go! Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you are welcome back to Perspective Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio here in the heart of Oluyole in Ibadan. My name is Kunle Olowu, and I am here with Olale Konsani, who is our analyst. Like I said, we are going to be opening up the phone lines for people at home to call and give their 2 cents about the issues we are talking about as seen on the front pages of the dailies this morning. You can also send comments to us on Facebook. That is at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. We will be so glad to read your comments and know what you have to say. The studio lines to call is 0916 893 1000. I'll take that again, 09168 93 1000. We also have a 091 5333 4893. We have a caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Ruth calling from Malakia.
Ruth from Malakia. You have the floor, Ruth.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, I do have, what exactly are we gaining from this current administration?
You said, what are we, what?
Clear that things are not, what are we gaining from this current administration?
Okay.
Yes, because it's so clear that things are not working anymore. We keep complaining about everything, insecurity, power, education, no fuel, health care is so bad. So which I'll just keep urging Nigerians that we should wake up, because we must not continue like this come 2027. And opposition parties should please come together, stay strong and united, because they need to take the mandate from this ruling party, because we can't continue like this. They have failed us. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, Ruth. She says the country has failed us and that the people must, opposition must rise to take power. The numbers to call is 09168931000, 09153334893, or 0911 333 Those are the studio lines to call. So before we went on that break, we talked about Atiku, who says he will be hanging his boots, like in the in the football term, in the football world, after this coming election. And that is actually not even what he said alone. He said that the 2027 presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, that they will emerge through consensus option. This is just as he stated again that the 2027 presidential election will mark the final chapter of his long political career, which is actually very long. We have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning,
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling us from? Yes.
I'm Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
From Olodo, Odeda.
Elizabeth from Olodo. Yes, you have the floor, ma.
Yes. Thank God for what you are doing this morning.
Thank you.
We complain because we have so many things to complain of. If you see our road from Odeda local government to Adokuta, very, very appalling. Things are so difficult. You see people begging. Someone that is a widow has four children, graduated children, went for their youth club and did no work for them. And now you be saying, even the Senate is a very bad company. It's a company of their own. They are doing nothing for Nigerians except embezzling the money. And they keep on taking money from outside, which is bad. That's God, and God will judge them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is God, though. Yeah, I mean,
that reminds me of Patience Jonathan.
Yes. So, like we were saying, talking about Atiku Abubakar, he said that the presidential candidate of the ADC will emerge through consensus, and he said that if that wouldn't work, they will actually do a primary to decide who will win. And he said that, of course, again, that he will support anybody who wins. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Oluwadamilola. I'm calling from Bodija.
Oluwadamilola from Bodija. Yes, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. You see, every now and then, people keep complaining about the state of the nation. But it's like our leaders are just holding their hands. Like they do not have anything to do to help our situation. We keep talking and we are tired. I just want to urge Nigerians that come next election, let's try our best to go out and vote in good leaders, empathetic leaders who are issues will be the first on their mind, and not the ones that are self-centered. May God deliver us in this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Damilola from Bodija. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to Atiku. Is it time for?
I think I have another caller.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, what is your name and where are you calling us from? Aderunke from?
Muslim.
From Muslim. Okay, you have the floor, Aderunke.
Just take a look at it. Since the removal of fuel subsidy, that is when we have been facing these hardship we are facing under this current administration. And nothing seems to be working. Before Baba came on board, when doing his campaign, he said, Olofokonbale, Amagbowale. So is this the Olofokonbale, Amagbowale that he promised us? That things are very weird. That an average Nigerian can barely feed in a day. Not talk of 2 times in a day or 3 times in a day, which is supposed to be. Price of goods has skyrocketed in the market, and there is no electricity. Fuel, there is increase in fuel. We are not enjoying anything under this administration. Seriously, 127, all what it takes. That is what we are going to do to see that this administration is out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your call. Thank you very, very much.
As regards what Atiku Abubakar said, and that 2027 is going to be his last outing. I'm not his spokesperson. I think I lost that call.
We lost that call. Okay. Yeah.
So the truth of the matter is that I'm not his spokesperson, so I may not be able to speak for him. But he has said what he wants to do. He's a Nigerian.
Yeah, but my question is like, is it long overdue? Atiku has been in the picture since, if I remember, since 1992.
It is personal prerogative. I can wake up tomorrow morning to say, okay, I want to run. I want to contest.
Yes. I'm not marathon. No.
It's still left for me to say, okay, I'm no longer contesting. It's a democracy. For as long as you are not constitutionally barred from contesting. I mean, if you say you want to contest, it is your choice. What interests me in all of what he said is how they want to manage their internal political dynamics.
Which is really important.
He said it's going to happen through consensus, that they are going to sit down and say, okay, who is the best guy for us, who can deliver the most. I don't completely like that because it may not give room for proper testing of strength and transparency. But if all other players are saying that we want to go with that, who am I to complain? I'm not an aspirant. I'm not contesting under any political party, so I cannot speak for any of them. But if they feel like it is okay, so be it. He went further to say that should consensus fail, meaning should someone say, no, I just want to test my strength, then they are going to do direct primary, which is what the Electoral Act says that you can only do.
And I think that's what you would rather them do.
I like it, but it is extremely cumbersome because you'll be holding primary elections across all the wards in the country, and
do they even have that time?
There are almost 10,000 of them. That's not going to be very, very funny. Knowing to all that, you have just maybe 45 days from today to submit the name of your candidate.
And that's if they decide to start today.
That is if they have to start today, which they cannot even start today. They cannot start anything earlier than May 11. So you have roughly 19 days to do elections. It's going to be extremely cumbersome. So for me, and it's not by accident, it's not by mistake, it's what the current ruling party designed so as to make things difficult for the opposition party. In the ruling party, it's just the president alone, nobody's contesting with him, so they don't even have the option of saying we want to do consensus or we want to go the primary way. You just have to pick Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is, if you want to choose who the presidential candidate of the party is going to be. But for other parties, especially other parties where there are going to be multiple candidates, it's going to be hellish for them. But the truth of the matter is that it's still too early. Let's watch and see. If you are saying that you want to give Nigerians an alternative, then it must mean that you are very, very smart. So let's watch them do their thing. That is what is going to now mold our decision to say, okay, this is where we want to go, or this is where we don't want to go. Let them prove themselves.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Benga Mario calling from Apata.
Benga Mario from Apata. You have the floor.
Thank you. Well, Atiku fired this last year. He said this is going to be the last time he's going to be contesting. Well, there's something that pains a man in life when your ambition is not coming true in his lifetime. And like you said earlier, that he has been on this race for only God knows how many years ago. And when the admission seems blinking, and you are trying to give me your last shot, you are permitted to say anything. And I was a bit moved by what he said. But look at what Buhari also did when, I think in the 2015 election, when Buhari was crying.
When he cried,
He wishes that he was able to become the president of Nigeria even for once in his lifetime. And the guy came, Buhari came, and you can also see the rot he did in the system. That now we are even wishing we never had him as the president of the country. If Atiku as well, if he should be the president of this country, if he should win the 2027 election, in case he wins, I'm telling you, there's going to be laughing. Insecurity is going to continue. The inflation is going to keep rising. Things are going to be on the. Nobody's going to change. We'll be able to change the tide. Just like a lady that called from Bodija said, that we should vote in a credible leader. And I want to say that in Nigeria of today, in those that are in the politics in the various parties, I've never seen any one of them that is credible as the party that we have. Someone like late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, one of the best presidents that Nigeria has ever had. So the camp that we have in both ADC, APC, whatever, I've never seen a credible one among them all. But all we are praying is that God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. Sunday. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling.
Mr. Mario said something that I think I need to say something about.
Okay.
He said that we are now wishing that we never had Muhammadu Buhari. In all seriousness, I am hoping that we can have a Muhammadu Buhari instead of what we have right now.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just in his own opinion.
You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but for me, Nigeria was moving better. Nigeria was doing much better under Muhammadu Buhari than we have now. That's just the truth of it.
But
I'm not saying Buhari did well; he didn't do well. But place Buhari beside what we have right now, and you will realize, without emotions, without sentiments, that
But I think everybody would agree that apart from the Musa Yar'Adua's administration, every other administration is always better than the last. Every administration.
And the truth of the matter is that
there's a chance that whoever comes,
Chief.
Maybe they'll be
No. The truth of the matter is that we are the ones causing that. We look at all of them with our eyes wide open, and we choose a terrible person. When a terrible candidate becomes a president, he is most certainly going to become a terrible president. We now begin to say, no. That's not the case. The country is not jinxed. The country is not cursed. I can tell you something that Bola Ahmed Tinubu said before he became president, that if you judge his performance in office based on what he said while he was not in office, then you can blame him. He said his plan would be to reduce the purchasing power of the people and increase the amount of taxes that we pay. Now we pay, in fact, the only thing we are not paying tax on is breathing. So can you blame him? He told you he was going to do that. He told you he would reduce your purchasing power drastically. Has he not reduced it? Can you blame him?
And he said
didn't Nigerians see that? Didn't they hear that when he said it? Now you will now say, things are just getting worse. Things are getting worse because you are electing people you shouldn't be electing in the first place.
You are still tuned in and locked on to Wells Radio 89.3 FM. The program you're listening to is Perspective Unlimited. And you can be a part of the show by calling into the studio line. The numbers to call is 091-6893-1000, 091-5333-4893, and 0911-333-893.
Before we leave, I think we need to say something about Nigeria's debt profile.
Yes, we are going there.
Okay.
We are going there. Yeah, I just want to quickly read this message on Facebook from Adekunle Ojo Christiana. Says, good morning and well done, sir, from Oluyole Ibadan. Good morning to you as well. From Ademola Okunala, beautiful morning to you. The presidency should please find a lasting solution to all the hardship confronting Nigerians. We deserve to live comfortably and not fear in our country. Thank you. Thank you very much to Ademola for your take on this. So, yes, you mentioned something, and I think we should quickly touch on it before we run out of time. The front page of The Guardian actually has that large caption saying, fresh concerns over funding risk as Nigerians' public debt hits 159.28 trillion naira. And while we're talking about at the first quarter of this show, when we're talking about subsidy or no subsidy and how much the government is making, does it justify what we are seeing in the papers, that we are still seeking loans and we are in this much debt? How does it make sense?
Thank you very much. It can only make sense if you look at it from the angle of common sense and, reality.
Reality especially.
I see graft here. I see corruption here. Nigeria is making way more money in the name of tax. I should tell you something, Chief. The total amount of money Nigeria got in the name of tax in 2022 was 6.8 trillion. Last year, in the name of tax alone, Nigeria got 28 trillion. 28 trillion, almost 5-folds of what we got in 2022, what we got in 2022. In the name of crude oil, we are making a lot more than we ever thought we could. Guess what? We are borrowing even way, way, way more than we used to borrow when we were paying subsidy in the name of, when we were paying subsidy on petroleum products and electricity. The government has offloaded a lot of its responsibilities, yet they keep borrowing even more than governments that had responsibilities that they were picking for Nigerians. And there is nothing on the ground in terms of infrastructural development to suggest that, okay, this is where the money is going. When Buhari was there, he was doing some projects. When Yaradua was there, he was doing some products. Jonathan, pardon me. But now there is hardly any project that you can see on the ground to say, okay, this is where our money is. And they keep billing us every month. The government has come out to say that, okay, in the year 2025, Nigeria ended 2025 with a debt profile of almost 160 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, 159 point whatever trillion. I do doubt that. I am not particularly convinced that they are very, very straight with us as regards the facts, because this is a government that has been telling us that, until yesterday, that inflation had been dropping when we know the reality of things in the country. But guess what? This year alone, the first quarter of this year ending March, that ended on the 31st of March, Nigeria has borrowed 8.1 trillion naira. 8.1 trillion naira. When the debt management office is going to tell us how much we have, journalists sat down, experts sat down and say, okay, in the name of treasury bill, borrowings and all of that, Nigeria has done 8.1 for 3 months. 8.1 trillion for 3 months.
3 months.
Yes. By the end of the year, if you do your mathematics, we are talking about 32.4 trillion naira added to whatever they say it is right now. I mean, that's crazy.
That's a lot of figures.
As of today, my dear brother, you owe 724,000 naira. Mr. Saving owes 724,000 naira. I am saying this because if you divide the amount of money Nigeria is owing by the total number of people in the country,
Nigeria, that's how much
individually, we are owing 724,000 no see. I mean, I didn't collect any money. I didn't see any alert in my bank account. But if you do that per capita, per head, then we're talking about 724,000 naira. I mean, that's
a lot.
That's a crime against humanity, especially for something that we are not seeing.
Funny.
I mean, it's not supposed to be so. And like I have been saying, we shouldn't be borrowing money at this time. Rather, we should be paying the already existing debts. But instead of doing that, we are not even stopping at the point of, we are not borrowing. What we have is enough. Even if you don't want to pay what's existing. Now you are not paying what's existing. What you have is more than, what you are making today is more than enough, yet you are still borrowing more than.
So we are actually running out of time, but let's just look at this very quickly. Still talking about the debt profile of Nigeria. So we think accountability is the problem because we are borrowing. We don't know what. But the government has said before that we should hold our state governors responsible, that they are getting times three of.
Let's not go there. It's not just state governors. It's governments across our tiers. What they have is now 4-folds of what it used to have.
To get.
The federal government now has 4-folds of what it used to have. State governors now have 4-folds of. So if the president keeps telling us, go after governors, sir, all of you, shouldn't we go after you too? You are making 4-folds of what you used to get. Where is that money?
Which 4-fold am I making?
I'm talking about I'm talking about the federal government.
The federal government, I know.
That's the point. That is the point.
Okay.
It's a very good way to deflect attention from him. But,
to
someone like something like that can't sway someone like me. No, it's not possible.
All right, thank you very much, Olale Kasani, for
It is
your
always an
time
honor to be here.
today. And I would like to thank everybody who has been a part of the show this morning. Remember, the Perspective Unlimited airs here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM every Monday to Friday between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. on your preferred awesome radio here in the heart of Oluyole, Ibadan. My name is Kunle Olowu. And until tomorrow again, I say thank you very much for being a part of the show. God bless you. And until tomorrow again, I say thank you very much for being a part of the show.
Listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.